Hi, my name is Fabian Wright, Technical Infrastructure Manager for Citrix Systems, here supporting Synergy 2011 in Barcelona. I'm here today with Stacy Scott, who is a Senior Manager with our Technical Readiness team here at Citrix. And in her role, she's also our Lead Engineer for the Learning Lab environment. One of the benefits of attending Synergy in Barcelona is the attendees have the opportunity to have a hands-on experience directly with Citrix technology. As part of our Powered by Citrix campaign, I've chosen to interview and speak with Stacy to find out specifically about the Citrix infrastructure and how that is supporting our Learning Lab environment. How are you doing, Stacy?
Doing well.
Good. So I've given a brief introduction, but give me a little more about what you do here at Citrix.
I'm the Senior Manager of Worldwide Technical Readiness Team, and our team is responsible for creating technical content for field-facing individuals such as SEs, consultants, and partners. Whenever new products are released, our team creates a lot of that training material.
Good, that's excellent. So you are well versed in Citrix technology.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. So now about your role as the lead engineer, as I like to call you, because I think it's a very large position in what you do. Our hands-on learning labs is one of the biggest benefits of attending Synergy. So what is required of you in that role?
Well, we typically start a few months before the event, and one of the first things we do is content selection. We reach out to a variety of different teams, such as the product teams, as well as the field teams, and try to find out what's hot and what attendees may be interested in. Once we select our topics, then we build a team of instructors and facilitators to build out the lab infrastructure and also build out the training content. We also get a hold of a hosting vendor, and recently we've been using our own vendor called SoftLayer, and we built our virtual training center on top of the SoftLayer environment, and we use that as the hosting lab infrastructure.
Okay, so you said that you find out what's hot. So what is hot?
Well, right now, of course, Zen Desktop, always
Okay.
hot. Zen App is still a big draw, especially in the EMEA region. And then also the networking products. You know, we try to span across virtualization, server and desktop virtualization, as well as our networking products such as NetScaler and the branch repeater. We try to make sure that we cover all avenues.
Oh, excellent. Now, the infrastructure that is supporting this, can you give me a little more information about that? You did mention the SoftLayer partnership, so can you give me the details of how SoftLayer comes into play with this and then pair it with Citrix?
Sure. So in SoftLayer is our hosting vendor of choice for this event.
Now, what does that mean when you say the hosting vendor?
They will host the actual infrastructure, the physical servers. So we have Zen servers that we rent from SoftLayer, particularly for the event, and we use our own, black box type technologies, I like to call it, where we build a .NET service to call back into the SoftLayer infrastructure so that we can provision machines. And then with that, we have our instructors create virtual machines to have the lab infrastructure that they really want for their particular classes. We will then ask SoftLayer to push down those images onto the Zen server. So a lot of our role is really scripting and making sure that the Zen servers are behaving the way we want them to for the sessions. And then we also build a front-end experience for the user. So when these students come in and sit in that class, we want them to have a very seamless experience. They open our brand new student access portal, they will put in their email address, and then immediately on demand, a Zen server is there for them with the lab infrastructure that matches the class that they're attending.
Oh, okay, wow, that is quite intensive. You mentioned something, the student access portal. Can you tell me more about that, and what is it?
Sure. Previously, before the student access portal, we would create cards for each attendee. And on
Cards?
That, yes, cards. It's a very archaic way of doing it, actually. We would have cards that will have the IP address that they connect to, and then the credentials that for each of the virtual machines. But we found that to be a very time-consuming process, so what we did was create the student access website. So all they do is sit in the class, put in the code that the instructor will give them, and the email address, and then automatically on that website will pop up their Zen server IP address, for example, the credentials to log in. It will then automatically launch a connection for them. And in the back-end infrastructure, to get the best experience, we're using HDX delivery technology, for example. We're using Zen App. So we publish Zen Center, and that will automatically launch for them, and then there they will have all of the virtual machines right there in Zen Center for them.
And that is because the hands-on learning lab is a BYOC, a bring your own. So
Right.
coming in, I have my laptop. I'm able to go to the student access portal from my laptop and have this experience?
Correct. All you will need is the Citrix receiver on your laptop, and we support Windows and Macintosh devices to give a variety of different experiences, a variety of different browsers. So they really just bring their device. Sometimes people like to even do this on an iPad, and that's okay too.
So I can do it on an iPad?
You can.
Really? Now, what if I don't have Citrix receiver on my iPad or Mac or PC?
Well, we will ask them to download it there. The instructor will help them go to citrix.com and then get the Citrix receiver and then quickly install it on their device and be up and running for the Learning Lab.
Good, good. You mentioned also some of the facilitators, and I know it takes a host of people to assist. I'm sure you can't do it all by yourself.
Definitely
So
not.
give me a little more about your team and the various people that can be involved in not only developing the infrastructure, but facilitating, providing the training, and assisting.
Okay, great. So we have about 5 people that we call our Learning Lab infrastructure team. So that student access portal, for example, was built by a team member of mine, Ed York. Then we also have someone that's in charge of making sure that each environment that supports the lab is up, running, functional, and has been thoroughly tested. So Attila Valley runs that for us, and he makes sure that each instructor builds their environment according to very specific specifications that he gives out. Then we also have the Zen server scripting. We have to make sure that the Zen server behaves the way we need that to. So we have Olivier Withoff, and he's our Zen server scripting guy. So we have a variety of different people that come together as part of the infrastructure team just to bring it all together. Then we have the instructors. So the instructors are usually subject matter experts in their particular area, be that Zen Desktop or Netscale or Branch Repeater, and they will determine what they want to show in that class. So the instructors, since they have a lot of experience with that technology, they know exactly what to build a lab around so that the attendees will really be interested. Because what the attendees want is that real-world experience.
Right.
They want to be able to take that knowledge and go back to their environment and be able to apply that.
I know one of the things that's very important for our attendees is that we provide them a challenge that, that not only just a challenge, but it's technical, and that they are able to learn and take something away back to their offices or back into their environment. So I think it's good that an assessment is done to find out what's hot, and that the SMEs are delivering and facilitating the classes. So I think it's a benefit that we have the engineers to do that. In addition to having the SMEs, the engineers, and Attila and all these great guys doing that, is there another group of people that assists in delivering or organizing this?
Well, those are the main people that will, make sure the infrastructure is ready to go, and then make sure the content is good to go. Those are the main people that are involved in everything. So that's approximately 70 people.
70,
yeah,
wow.
70. That's between the instructors for each session. Sometimes they're co-speakers, depending on what the actual content is. And then we have facilitators. We try to have at least 3 facilitators per class because we want that attendee, when they raise their hand, to have someone immediately come on over and help them out with any question they have. So it really takes about 70 people to really make this all happen.
Wow, that is quite a lot of people. Are all 70 going to be on site?
Yes, all 70 are going to be on site supporting the event and doing their part.
Excellent, excellent. I have a couple questions that I've prepared for you. Outside of SoftLayer, are there any other sponsors or partners that you are working with?
Well, one of our major sponsors is Dell. We're doing a Zen client class, and we can't really do that type of class in the SoftLayer virtual environment. So Dell is going to be sponsoring 2 servers for us so that we can have the Zen client experience and everything that involves. And they're also sponsoring 35 laptops. They did this for us in San Francisco, and then we just are going to replicate that same experience in Barcelona.
Okay, so tell me about the Zen client class.
Well, the Zen client class, each student, this is not a BYOC class, each student will be given a Zen client capable Dell laptop. From there, they're going to set up the entire infrastructure themselves. The servers in the room, they're going to be connecting to the servers into the room to pull down these images. Because with Zen Client, the ability of running virtual machines on that client hypervisor is what they're interested in seeing. So they're really going to get to really see that end-to-end and be able to pull down the different images and switch back and forth between different images. And we're doing the very latest release of Zen Client, and they're going to see all of the new features work firsthand.
This being your second time hosting or working as an engineer for the Learning Lab environment, what were some of the takeaways that you gathered from your experience in San Francisco that you've been able to, that has provided you some support or utilize in Barcelona?
Okay, good question. One of the things that I learned the first time I did this in San Francisco was to try to plan for the unexpected. You know, with
Now, how do you do that?
Well, you really just try to anticipate every angle of the event. There's so many moving pieces, so you really have to understand the big picture and plan for, you know, have contingency plans. You may have a really great way of delivering a particular class, but if that doesn't work out, what's a backup plan in case that doesn't work? So we always have contingency plans before the event and also on site. You know, a lot of things happen that you don't anticipate on site.
So true.
Yes.
So true.
So we just have to be willing to, you know, shape and mold to whatever the situation calls for. So I would say that's one of my big takeaways.
So in doing that, what type of preparation have you made for yourself and your team to prepare for these contingency plans?
Well, we have regular meetings every week, and we try to bring up anything that we see that may be a gap that we need to fill. So, you know, regular meetings to really discuss anything from the content to the infrastructure, and then really say, well, you know, I see this gap, but if, for example, this doesn't come to fruition, what else can we do on site? And then we prepare beforehand. So I'll give you an example with San Francisco, the last event. We were doing a self-paced lab. We had our WISE Thin clients, and we had just a sinking feeling that there may be something going on with the WISE Thin clients. We weren't really able to fix it beforehand, but what we did was come prepared with a brand new image. And it turns out our feeling was correct. We had a brand new image on a USB drive. We were able to re-image all of the machines and be up and running before the event. So that contingency planning really came in handy.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, that is it for this session and this interview with Stacy Scott. The Powered by Citrix campaign, please continue to follow the blog, and we look forward to seeing you in Barcelona for Citrix Synergy.